it's Gia from Brand 24. Welcome back to the Social Recap, a rundown of all the latest highlights and trends in social media and digital marketing news. And bonus, if you're a fan of digital tools who's always looking for recommendations, just comment below to find out which tools are the top contenders in our weekly tool test. So, what's new this week? Well, it looks like Facebook is still making headlines, especially with their CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, having been called on to testify before Congress. That plus all the additional changes that Facebook is planning for its users. So, let's recap. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg appeared before Congress just a few days ago for a 5-hour Q&A session about how the social network could have allowed political data mining firm Cambridge Analytica to inadvertently access data for up to 87 million users. So while Zuckerberg is scheduled to appear in even more testimonies, this initial hearing has clarified a few facts about Facebook. Rumors have been long circulating about the effectiveness of Facebook's ad targeting as a result of eavesdropping on the users through their mobile devices. The CEO went on public record with a firm no when asked if there was any truth to this. And in light of the controversy regarding data security and targeted ads, when questioned about the possibility of creating an ad-free paid version of Facebook, Zuckerberg informed Congress that there would always be a free version of Facebook, suggesting that a paid version isn't out of the question. And a big topic of interest that has arisen from the whole Facebook and Cambridge Analytica scandal is one of regulation. But how do you regulate something like Facebook and the protection of user data? So during his testimony, Zuckerberg fielded questions like, how does Facebook acquire user data, and how long does it keep that data? Well, while important, these questions show us that there is still much for the public to understand about social media and data protection. And how do you regulate something that you don't fully understand? That's the question. So how else has Facebook been cleaning up after its data security issue? Well, last week we mentioned how the platform suspended nearly 300 accounts and pages linked to Russian misinformation agency, the IRA. You can watch episode 6 for a quick social recap. And now Canadian data firm AggregateIQ has also been added to the suspension list. This is due to allegations of affiliation with SEL, parent company of Cambridge Analytica. Plus, Chris Wiley, one of the whistleblowers from the data scandal, implicated AggregateIQ's involvement in his testimony before a parliamentary committee just last month, stating that the firm had used data from Cambridge Analytica to help Britain's Vote Leave campaign sidestep political spending limits. So AggregateIQ has denied having any affiliation with both Cambridge Analytica and SEL. Facebook, however, is taking extra precautions in the aftermath of its data security issue. So especially since now it seems as if Cambridge Analytica might have had access to even more data from Facebook than everybody realized. So if you or any of your friends ever logged into an app called This Is Your Digital Life, then Cambridge Analytica would have been able to access data on your public profile, see what pages you liked, when your birthday is, and your current city. However, even if you never downloaded the app, but any of your friends did, here's the kicker. They could have chosen to share even more information, giving Cambridge Analytica access to their newsfeed, their timeline, their posts, their hometown, and even private messages on Facebook Messenger. So if you ever sent this friend any private messages on Messenger, they might have been accessed by Cambridge Analytica. So if you think this doesn't affect you, remember that it would only have taken a tiny number of people to download the app for the data mining firm to harvest data from an exponentially larger number of users, which is why Facebook has been reported to data protection authorities in several European countries. So in Norway, the Norwegian news agency recently confirmed that just 17 Norwegians downloaded the fake quiz app, which actually means that up to 37,550 Norwegians might have had their data harvested. And that's why the Norwegian Consumer Council decided to file a complaint on Facebook with the Norwegian Data Protection Authority. And consumer organizations in several other countries like Belgium, Greece, Italy, Portugal, the Netherlands, and Spain have also followed suit. Now, a burning question is, how do you know if you're one of those people whose data has been collected by Cambridge Analytica? Well, Facebook has started the process of notifying all 87 million users who may have had their data scraped by the data mining firm. So 87 million is a rough estimate actually. It's based on the maximum number of friends that a user may have had at the time when the Fake Quiz app was actively harvesting user data. Unfortunately, Facebook doesn't keep logs dating that far back, so it's hard to verify the accuracy of this number, and different sources offer contradicting information. So Chris Wiley, one of the whistleblowers from the Cambridge Analytica scandal, believes the number to be actually higher than 87 million, with most of the data stored in Russia, as Alexander Kogan, a former data scientist with a data mining firm, traveled frequently to Russia while working on the Fake Quiz app. So Cambridge Analytica, on the other hand, states that it had collected data on, just 30 million Facebook users. Facebook has been and will be implementing a series of changes in response to its data security issues, which you can learn more about in episode 4 of the Social Recap. But what about other changes for active Facebook users? So we might be able to thank TechCrunch for the next feature update. After they reported that Mark Zuckerberg had been deleting some of his private Facebook messages on the down low, Facebook stated that an UnSend feature will soon be available to all Messenger users. Happy coincidence? I'm not sure. So Facebook Stories is a feature that has found limited success, especially when compared to Facebook Live videos, which on average generate 6 times more engagement than non-live videos. Despite this, the platform has high hopes for Stories and is testing 3 new ways to make it easier for users to find and share Facebook Stories. The first method shows recent images from a user's camera when they go to the status update field from Facebook Mobile. The second method makes Facebook Stories the default way to post from Facebook Camera, and the third method displays large image preview tiles for Facebook Stories right above the newsfeed, making it really obvious for users to find. Most of these tests will only be available to a small group of global users, except for the second method, which will actually first be tested in the Dominican Republic. So users will ultimately decide which method is the most effective and which strategy will be taken globally. So now, even though Facebook has been in the spotlight lately, it's not because other platforms haven't been up to anything. Here are a couple feature updates that are not about Facebook. If you use LinkedIn, you might be one of the few users in the small test group who is forced to use hashtags in your latest post. So the test was designed to help the platform better understand the value of using hashtags in a post. Not a bad idea, but suggesting that users add hashtags instead of forcing them might have been a better strategy. In any case, don't be surprised if you do see more hashtags on LinkedIn. It's all part of the test. And Snapchat went through a redesign a few weeks ago, parts of which we talked about in previous episodes of the Social Recap. Most users didn't really like it. Basically, Snap was showing people non-chronological stories in their feed, which prioritizes Snap users who post frequently, even if they don't interact with other users. But now they're bringing back chronological stories, so Snap users can see stories from friends that they actually talk to or interact with, even if they don't post that frequently. So this might make it harder for social media influencers and brands to get their content seen on Snapchat, but most hardcore Snap users are pretty happy to have a more personalized feed. Well, that's it for this week's Social Recap. Don't miss out on the latest trends in social media and digital marketing news. Subscribe to the Social Recap and get all caught up in a matter of minutes. And if you're a fan of social media and digital marketing tools who's watching this on Facebook, just comment on this post and our messenger bot will tell you about a couple of our favorite tools. With all those feature updates on images, stories, and videos this week, you can bet that these are going to be tools for creating high-quality videos, and of course, they will show you how to track the performance of your videos after they go live. So now we're all caught up for this week. Thanks for watching and listening. Thanks so much for tuning into the Social Recap, and I'll see you next week. Bye.